Hello everyone and welcome back to Riri in the kitchen. Right here, we're getting our honey jalapeno cornbread started off. This is just the honey cornbread mix on the bottom there. And then this is some diced jalapenos and about half a can of cream corn that I'm adding to the mix to make our mixture. Alright everyone, so this is our finished mixture for the cornbread. All I did was put in a bunch of diced jalapenos. I put in half a can of cream style corn. And I also put in some butter seasoning. The regular popcorn seasoning that you would put on popcorn, I added it in here about a good tablespoon or so, just to give more of a buttery flavor. And I did use a 1/4 cup less of what the directions called for on the cornbread, and I just followed the rest of the directions as is. So I'm just going to pour these into our buttered pans. I'm just going to fill them up about maybe like halfway or so. Alrighty, I'll pop these in the oven according to the directions, and then I'll let you guys know how it looks. I just want to put the disclaimer out that I am not a baker. Like, I am terrible at baking just because I always add way too much stuff because I'm such an extra person. But the last minute I decided to kind of like swirl in some cheddar cheese. I got the idea from the back of the cornbread box. It had cheesy jalapeno cornbread on the back. But I thought that I created this, but I guess not. And what I did do differently is add the cream corn. And I probably added a lot more cheese than what the recipe calls for. So I'm just kind of like swirling that in so that it kind of melts into it all pretty. Alright, and then I'm just gonna pop this in the oven. Okay, that should be good. I just wanted to kind of get all of the shredded cheese covered in a little bit of the mixture so it actually cooks into it and doesn't like necessarily brown on top like that. Alright, here we go. I just wanted to quickly show y'all one of the secret ingredients that we're using for this chili. This is some chorizo. I did get the beef kind, but you can use whatever type of chorizo you want. You can use pork or whatever. This is a cacique brand. It was just $2 at my local carniceria. So I'm just going to go ahead and fry it up. I'm sorry, y'all. I cannot do this with one hand. I'll come back when I start frying it. The chorizo is totally optional, but I do recommend it just because it adds some amazing flavor to the chili. It just adds like a whole other dimension of flavor, and it's just like amazing. So our chili is kind of going to be like a Mexican flair because I will add some cilantro in there as well. So we'll have chorizo, cilantro, and then I'll show you my other secret ingredient that's a little bit different from typical chilies. How I like to cook my chorizo is until it is like almost burnt kinda. I just like, I don't know, it's just how I like it, but it's totally up to you and whether or not you use it at all. So I'm just breaking this up, then I'm gonna let it fry up into little crumbles. Alright, next I added the beef directly into the chorizo. While that's cooking on one side some more, I'm just going to go ahead and brown this ground beef. And this is some lean ground beef. I wanted the chuck, but Aldi didn't have any, so this is one second. It doesn't really matter because it's going to cook down into deliciousness. Plus the chorizo already has a ton of oil on its own, so so it'll be totally fine. I am super excited to get this chili started with you all. This is what I call my Holy Trinity. I call it Riri's Trinity. But you know how the Trinity is typically onions, bell peppers, and celery? Well, this is onions, bell peppers, and cilantro. So I'm just going to go ahead and throw it in there. Our chorizo and beef over here. Well, it's chorizo beef, but you get the point. Swirling this around a little bit. Next, I'm throwing in a bunch of garlic. And I also have some thyme in here that's toasting up as well. Just going to give this a mix. Alright. Now to hopefully get some of the steam out of the way, I am going to go in with my dark red kidney beans. I like the dark one just because it just looks pretty in the dish, I guess. I don't know. That's just what I use. Alright, there we go. See that? I like to let the red kidney beans cook first just because I like my red kidney beans soft, and the other beans that I'm using is already like super soft because it's almost like baked beans. So I just want to give this a second to cook together and harmonize all the delicious flavors. And then I am going to basically add chicken stock to it. So I'll add some chicken bouillon with a little bit of water just to like give it some liquid to cook in. And then I'll be back. Alrighty, now that our beans are cooked down a bit, what I did was just chop up some of the leftover pickled jalapeños as well as the carrots and onions, because why not, right? Might as well use it. I typically use red serranos in this dish, but I had the pickled jalapenos, so I just decided to use that. Next, I'm going in with the fire roasted diced tomatoes. I use fire roasted because again it has more flavor. And then I'm going to go in with a small can of tomato sauce. And as you can see, all of these products are from Aldi. Ooh, that's my song. I got nothing but love for you. Just gonna stir this around. And just so you know, when I said that I added water earlier, I literally only added like a quarter cup, just because a lot of this other stuff will produce its own liquid. I'm sorry for that annoying noise of metal hitting metal, but gotta do what I gotta do. Alright, so I'm just gonna let that cook down for a bit, and then eventually I will add in the rest of the beans as well as the chorizo and beef. I just wanted to show you how I season my chili. I already have chili seasoning and cumin in here. Now I'm just gonna go in with some oregano, again all Aldi brand. I love Aldi, y'all. So that's our oregano down, some onion powder, some non-Aldi brand garlic powder. This is a brand that we get while we're in Belize, so I always try to buy it. And of course, lots of black pepper because I love it. Alright, I'm gonna get stirring. This is a steel pot, so it involves stirring a lot, so let me get to that. Alrighty, so I'm just gonna go in with our second secret ingredient. It is essentially like baked beans, but it's grill style brown sugar bourbon beans. So I'm just going to add that in there, which of course I can't do with one hand. But I will add the beef and chorizo in after that, and then just let it all harmonize together in deliciousness. Okay, so I tried to let the simmer calm down so you guys could see it a lot more. I did add the beef and chorizo to our beans, onions, and peppers mixture. And I added some cilantro at the very end. So now all of our ingredients are in here, and I'm just going to let it cook for maybe like 10-15 minutes or so and just get all happy together. Of course, if you don't like cilantro or you don't like chorizo, just use a lot of paprika and possibly oregano to replace the cilantro. Just do whatever makes your heart happy. Again, with a steel pot, you do have to constantly stir or you will have a burnt mess. I do not recommend using a steel pot, but this was the only pot I had that would hold this much. So, I need to get some new pots and pans, y'all. Alright, so this is a finished product. Our chorizo, chili, and jalapeno cornbread. Has honey jalapeno cornbread with cheese in it. Looks good. And it tastes delicious. I was tasting it the whole way I was cooking. And as some of you know, I eat avocado with everything, so I just went ahead and threw in some avocado also.